It's time for Real Talk on Forge 103.9, a new sound.
Happy Friday, everyone. It's Real Talk. And Matt, we have incredible guests in the building, do we not?
Yes, we do. We have the two leads from the show On Your Feet now being performed. I don't know how to say it because it's a play. It's not a movie, so I just want to say it is being the production of On Your Feet, the story of Emilio and Gloria Estefan's playing at BMT Stars Theater in downtown. We have the leads. We're so blessed to have them. Izamar Olaguez and Erick Casallas.
Hello.
They're being good sports because they have to share one mic.
Yep.
You can share one mic, yeah.
Can I use my diva card? I want another mic.
Matt's is available. You can just take Matt's, I guess, right? But, when Matt brought this to our desk, he's all like, this is an incredible thing. We definitely have them. And, I guess it's my age difference. I was like, sure, what is this though? Kind of like what is this play and like what is this experience, right? And kind of break it down of like who the story is about, because people like me would love to get into this world, but there's that barrier. We don't really know.
We need a little education.
Yeah, just give us a quick about the show. Who would like to do that?
I'll go ahead and start. This is Eric, and I play the role of Emilio, and the show is a musical. And what we call a jukebox musical. Basically, it's the library of the Estefan's music put into the story of their lives, essentially, from when they're young, when they meet, when they fall in love, when they start producing music, and then to all the challenges and issues that Gloria had when she had the bus accident, and then how she rises above that. So it's a story of triumph, it's a story of challenge, it's a story of perseverance, immigrants coming together to basically say this was our American dream and how we made it a reality.
Yeah, and of course we have the lead who is playing Gloria Estefan, Izamar. How are you feeling about the show? I mean, are you excited when you got this gig?
I mean, I was thrilled. They announced this season, Stars announced their season in 2019.
Uh-huh.
So then the Pandemia happened.
Oh,
and I still really wanted to do this show. And luckily, when they opened back up, they were going to do this show. And I said, I want to do this. And as a Latina who don't necessarily get to see a lot of representation in musicals that look like me, I said, no, this is the one I need and this is the one I want. So being able to do that now on stage is kind of a dream becoming a reality. Mm-hmm. So let's be honest, it's a struggle.
Yeah.
It's a lot. I mean, I don't even want to count how many quick changes I have. But luckily, I have an amazing girl helping me out backstage with all those quick changes.
Talk to me about quick changes.
I just saw a TikTok on this.
I know what it is, but for the audience that doesn't know what a quick change is, break it down to us.
Quick change. I change really fast.
Yeah.
But
so
no,
you just like Velcro, your new outfit?
No, so it's pretty great. Well, I really want to encourage you to come see the show because they literally happen so fast. Mm-hmm. There's a whole medley, like concert medley that's happening. And I come out, I sing a little bit of conga, go backstage, quick change to another outfit, come back out, sing a little bit of On Your Feet. And in between that, all that's happening is Emilio's having some dialogue with another character in the show. And it's literally seconds that I have to come and change. And it's shoes, outfit, everything. Luckily, I don't have to. I have a few wig changes in the beginning and the end, but it happens so fast.
Do you guys practice that? Like, we're practicing quick changing today. Like, that's a thing? Or?
Yes. It's Tech Week. It was last week. It's Monday through opening night. So Monday and Tuesday, I didn't have anyone helping me. This is community theater. You give your time and effort, and you don't get paid.
Oh, wow.
You don't. And I was doing it all by myself, and I was panicking because by the time I got on stage, changed, my mind was, what am I doing? What scene am I in? So I wasn't really able to act and perform well. So Wednesday night, we got my Lord and Savior, Nicole, to come and give her time.
Shout out to Nicole.
Yeah. Shout out to Nicole. I love you so much. And
who is Nicole?
Nicole Heasley. She's actually another actress in the community. She also performs, and she came to give her time to.
She's like the little guardian angel that comes in to kind of save the day. And, I gotcha. Everybody has one of those.
Yes, she is mine for this show. So, she helps me with everything. So I get backstage, just like, what's next? What's next? And she tells me, and I'm like, okay, got it. And I'm changing, and then I'm already mentally preparing. So by the time I'm on stage, I'm really calm. and put together.
Wow.
Yeah, and there's a bit of anxiety when it comes to the quick changes because you want to make sure like you're buttoned and zipped, in the appropriate places because that's a big factor.
Oh, has that happened before?
Not to me, but it's a thought. Like,
It's one of those things you need to like.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about all these, like if you're in the theater community, you're going to know what a quick change is and all that. But we're talking about On Your Feet, which is at BMT Stars Theater. This is your second weekend, right?
Yeah, tonight we start our second weekend.
Wow. So you have lots of excitement in the air. And like you said, it's a rarity that you get to see ourselves represented in, this was a Broadway play. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But now it's right here in Bakersfield. And so much to talk about. And Andres has a question.
Yeah. So if you want to watch it, or if you want to go see a performance, when does it run, and what are the dates, and just give us some of the hard facts.
Think of it as the month of March. So we run till March 26th. And you can go visit bmtstars.com for more ticket information. You can also call and make a reservation.
Okay,
so you can come see it.
And what nights of the week? Is it every night of the week? Is it?
It's a weekend.
Weekends. Okay.
For
So
example,
Friday to Sunday?
No, it changes. So we have this weekend, it's Friday, Saturday. Next weekend is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Our last weekend is Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Okay, so if you go to the website, and we'll make sure to post that up for everybody.
We'll keep reminding everybody.
Yeah, remind everybody. You can check that out. And how long is the performance?
The performance itself, Act 1 is about an hour and 15 minutes. And There's about a 30-minute intermission, and then Act 2 is about 45 minutes. So you're in for about a 2.5-hour show, and it's a
It's a perfect
production.
Yeah, that's
perfect way to maybe take some friends out. Perfect date night.
Yeah. Dinner.
Dinner.
You can get dinner there. It's a dinner theater.
yeah.
And drinks.
Yes.
drinks.
You get some mojitos?
Yeah.
Yes, our
Of course.
bartender.
She's amazing.
She's a
Shout
gem.
out to Sonia.
Well, we have to go to some music, but we were talking about making it a day and like these tickets, right? We have tickets to give away.
We do.
So you do not want to turn that dial. This is Real Talk on Forge 103.9, a new sound. Forge 103.9, a new sound. We are back with our amazing guests in the building, aren't we, Matt?
Yes, we are. We have Izamar Olaguez and Erick Casallas, who are in the new production of On Your Feet, now being performed at Stars Restaurant Theater in downtown Bakersfield. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Yes.
It was only like a 5-minute break.
Yeah,
It wasn't that long, guys.
But you know what?
long.
Bob's been doing a good job on the music.
I know.
Good job
Oh
on the
man,
music. He's got us
that's
moving in
the
here.
Kanye song. That Kanye song that's where Kanye for me starts and it kind of ends.
Yeah, basically,
exactly.
right? Like that little essence of
Kanye.
Kanye.
Not really a big Kanye fan anymore. Anyways, folks,
I never was. But
never. Okay.
Well, it looks like this interview is canceled.
So, look, y'all are we're so excited to have you here, but let's get to know about y'all a little bit more. So, Eric, why don't we start with you, and then Izamar, you can go next. But tell us a little about yourself. Are you Bakersfield residents? Are you transplants?
Yeah, I'm a Bakersfield resident. I work in the educational system here in Bakersfield, and I'm adjunct professor at Cal State Bakersfield. So I'm a very busy person during the day, and I make time for this because it brings me joy. But my parents immigrate. My parents came here at young ages from Colombia, and my grandmothers actually brought all their kids over here. So my story mirrors what the Estefans was. So when I heard that the show was coming and I saw the show myself, I was like, I've got to represent myself. I've got to represent my cultura. I've got to represent like the Latino community, and I'm super, super proud of it. And it's one of those roles that doesn't come all the time. So I feel like it's like perfect timing. Shout out to the director for giving me this part and trusting me in it, Mr. Frank Sierra.
Yes,
Much
Frank.
love for you. And it's a joy.
Wonderful,
Wow.
wonderful.
So many questions I want to follow up on, but let's get to Izamar. So,
hey, so
Wait, do they call you Izzy?
Well, okay, so I don't mind any nicknames that come to flourish once we meet each other. But I think after a few years, I would talk to management at work, and I'm like, "Oh, my name is Izamar." They're like, "Do you have an easier name?" And I'm like, "Ugh."
Like, no.
Let's stick
like
with
that's
I love
what- okay.
Izamar. Is a
I
beautiful
love my
name.
name, but
Okay.
I answer to Izzy, Isa, Fea, Flaca, everything in between. So, like,
We'll stick with Izamar. That's a
I'll
beautiful
take
name.
it,
Izamar,
yeah.
tell us about yourself.
well, I grew up in Bakersfield, graduated from Golden Valley High School. I attended BC, and then I started doing pageants and musical theater in my early 20s. And then I ventured out to Orange County. I work for Disneyland Parks, and I now live in Temecula. Just recently, we just moved. My boyfriend
Really?
just bought us a house there. But this is home.
You're all over California.
I'm all over, yeah.
all
But this is definitely like my home. I always come back. My parents still live here, so
Okay.
I have my room. But I mean, I have my house, and then I have my room here.
Were you working at Disneyland? Were you one of the characters?
I don't want to say.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I work with the entertainment cast there at the Disneyland parks.
Okay, very cool.
Orle, Snow White.
I was listening to some Disney stuff the other day. They have some. They're famous for their NDAs. Disney.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't mind talking about things, but I know what to not say.
I haven't been to Disneyland in a long time, but if we go, we might run into you. So we'll say, Izamar.
So Eric, you mentioned you're an adjunct professor at CSUB. We got a couple runners in the house.
Yeah,
Here.
all right.
Very excited about that. What do you profess?
I teach in the educational department there.
Okay.
So I teach 2 classes, a math class and then a how to teach English learner class. So I do that Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then I race over to rehearsal. I do all that. And I'm actually a school principal.
You're
wow.
a
I'm
principal.
a very,
okay.
very, very, very busy person. We're proud of.
What's your school? Let's give them a shout out.
I'm on the east side, Voorhees Elementary, so shout out
All
to the
right.
Grady
Oh,
Bike.
wait,
Wait,
Nice.
no,
Okay.
Voorhees, that's
You
an
know.
excellent school.
Yeah, it's a dual immersion school, so my
Yeah.
kids learn English and Spanish. So to be able to speak Spanish in this show also is like, man, it's full circle for me. You know.
I know a teacher there. I play soccer with. My cousin's kids go to school there. Great school. Wow, this is
Yeah.
Small
See,
world,
hey,
small
let's.
That is
Hey, we're
the-
here. This is part of
that
the
is
show is
so
to
cool.
let everybody know that a little bit of all of us is out there, the community out there, la
So-
cultura, and
so
right in the
humble,
community.
too.
Yes.
I'm a principal. That's
He's like,
a
I'm
big
just
deal.
a, you know-
Hey,
As
principal-
if he didn't know.
Well,
No,
he
but
does the
I will
principal on the
also
side.
say,
Yeah.
in other interviews they've asked what's my favorite song to perform. It's not me performing it. It's when he's singing, because it's my rest time, and I don't get a lot of that in the show. But 2, like, he gets to really belt it out in the show. Like, you don't even know.
You got to come see it.
Yeah.
You have to come.
yeah.
You have to
You gotta
come.
come see, you got to come here.
Well, you know, the artistic types are very shy. He's a little shy, but you know what? I bet you when you get on the stage, boom, opens
Boom,
up.
it's
Right,
like-
right,
Different
Izamar?
person, yeah.
No,
Yeah,
and
all right.
we were also talking about this because our dynamic is a complete opposite of Emilio and Gloria.
Mm-hmm.
Gloria was the more reserved, didn't like the attention. We talk about it in the show. Didn't like the attention, and then Emilio's like, "No, I'm not the shy one. Think of me as the shy one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Act like I'm the shy one." And I'm like, "Well, this is opposite of me and Eric, but this is why we work."
Excellent.
How did y'all get into acting?
What was your introduction?
Yeah, like what was your introduction?
I did singing as a kid. I was a choir kid in high school, and then when I was an undergrad at UCLA, I started doing theater, and I fell in love with it. I was in an a cappella group, and then I stopped, and I dedicated myself to my career. And then about 4 years ago, I was like, you know what? I saw Hamilton, and that like spiritually woke me up, and I said, I need to get back into doing this, and I started it 4 years ago, and it's like I love it. I'm so glad I did it
Yeah.
again.
Wow, that's and. Izamar?
For me, it was a little bit different journey. My mom always likes to say I started singing as an infant. Instead of crying, I would just yell all the time. And I'm like, I was singing to you, Mom. But I started, again, like Eric, in choir in high school and junior high and everything. And then my dad reached out to a local vocal coach, Amy Adams. I don't know if you
Yes,
know.
of course, Amy.
Yeah, my dad was like, hey, I don't know if she's good. Can you
fix it though?
Can you
Like-
is this something I should invest in? And I remember doing the vocal warm-ups, and I'm like, I like to sing. And she's like, sir, you should definitely invest in this. And then that's when kind of in high school, my journey as a singer started, and I tried to pursue my own career as going to school at the same time. And then I did pageants, and then I did musical theater, and I still perform.
Excellent, excellent.
Well, we have so much more to talk
yeah.
about. We've been having
We're
some
just
great
getting started.
conversation online, and we have some tickets coming up, Bob.
Yeah,
a couple
we-
segments, right?
In the top of the next hour, when we get into our break, we're going to tell you how we can get you to come and see this amazing experience, and we're going to be giving away some tickets, so you don't want to turn that down.
And tickets come with dinner, am I right?
oh, and
Correct.
comes with
Bob's
dinner.
gonna
With
fight
dinner.
you for them, though.
The whole
Yeah,
schmear.
I'm gonna-
Yes.
It's a big deal.
I saw the menu. What? Let me pull it up. You got some tri-tip, some shrimp, some. I was about to say salad, but that is
Some
not for
mojitos.
me. You can have the
We
salad.
got a bar there. Sounds
But
like
we
fun.
have to go to commercial break, so you don't want to turn that dial. This is Real Talk on Forge 103.9, a new sound. Forge 103.9, a new sound. This is Real Talk, and we are back with our amazing guests in the building, aren't we, Matt?
Yes, we have Izamar Olaguez and Erick Casallas, who are both the leads in the new production of On Your Feet, now at Bakersfield Stars Theater Restaurant in downtown Bakersfield. We're so happy to have you guys because we have so much to talk about, and off air, we're kind of going all over the place. Like, where do we even? Because this is
talking about
exciting.
food.
Yeah, we're talking about
I'm yelling
food.
caldo de pollo.
I'm yelling like, we have 20 seconds.
Yeah, I know. It's like, okay, so now when we come back, Andres, based on everything you guys heard, where do we even start this latest conversation?
We shouldn't start with the food, but we should. But because we could talk about that all day. But let's get. You all mentioned that, as we were talking about for Latino representation and kind of we hear about it in Hollywood. There's not a lot of media out there that actually portrays our story. And here is a wonderful example of what does it. But let's talk about the bigger idea of Latino representation. What do you all feel is one step towards us seeing more of ourselves depicted on the big screen in performances? But accurately. That's something that I think we try to work on here. So what are your thoughts on that?
It's crazy because as someone who's in the industry, we tend to only look and do what you see on TV and on stage. And when I started doing musical theater, I could name the 5 roles that I could do, and I said, I want to do these in my life one day. But with the growth with Lin-Manuel and this show in particular, it's so huge. But I think what's so unique about this show itself is, I think, the whole concept of the American dream. Because one of my favorite books is The Rhythm of Success. It's the story and biography of Emilio Estefan. And that's how I came to love the family as a whole. And I fell in love with that book when I was competing in pageants. And I dreamed of working with Emilio one day and all that good stuff. But it was so crazy because in pageants, they're like, you need to pick a book that's more like, an American classic. I was like, how more American can you get than like an American dream story? Like, are you kidding me right now?
It's in the title.
Yeah. And it's just like, it was kind of jaw-dropping for me to kind of hear that. But luckily I've grown to really love my story as an American, and this is what it is. And to see the similarities that you get to see the American dream flourish and come into fruition, because you tend to think like you need to become more American. No, your journey is your American journey because you are American, period, point blank.
Yeah.
Yep. So I think seeing this is just beautiful because now I think as Latinos we're realizing that and venturing out and creating those type of stories and different type of stories for the Latinx community to showcase and be.
No, absolutely. There's, and I've had this conversation with a lot of people before because you see, in high school, junior high and high school, a lot of parents are always encouraging their kids, oh, my son, my mija, you got to go see him in the play. And you go see, the family goes sees the kids in the play and they're so excited. You're like, mija, you should go to LA. You should go to Hollywood and pursue that dream. Oh, we want to see, oh, you're going to make it. You're going to make it. But the sad reality in a lot of cases is that it only goes so far. Now, if you were able to kind of break through into Hollywood, you ended up getting those stereotypical roles. And I know a lot of our Hollywood Latinx legends, Latino legends, is that they kind of stop at a certain point. They were always the maid, et cetera, on down the line. But occasionally you had the big crossover leads, which is, I wouldn't even be able to name it unless you started with J-Lo, because J-Lo gets a lot of the leads.
Let's talk about Eva Longoria, right? She's a Chicano Studies major. Think about her big breakout. What was it? Desperate Housewives.
Desperate Housewives, yeah.
Okay, and what role did she play in Desperate Housewives? The woman who hooked up with the gardener.
Yeah.
Really,
the spicy Latina, that was kind of like troublemaker.
Yeah,
Sofia
exactly.
Vergara,
Oh, yeah.
Modern
Family. Yeah, you see that. And I will say my dad and my mom were huge support systems in wanting to pursue a life in the arts and performing, which is, I think you don't really see that.
Yeah.
Because when I was singing, I was at the clubs at 17 years old with my dad by my side and trying to promote myself as a singer. Like, hello, I'm Izamar. I want to do this. And they're like, that's cool. And my dad's like, no. But I kid you not, having this, I've said this to my dad too, and I was like, how crazy is it? Usually I'm like the last person to show it to bow at in the show is usually the lead. And I was like, wow. I was like, the two last people to bow, all the people to bow, like, we're brown. Like, I get to be the last person to bow. How crazy is that? You don't like. I think I feel like if you're in the musical theater community, you understand to be the last person to enjoy that bow is,
It's an honor.
it's a huge honor and a blessing that you don't even know.
Yeah. And now with the success of the In the Heights musical that came out during the pandemic, and then also the remake of West Side Story with Steven Spielberg with a Latino cast, we're starting to see ourselves on the screen finally. In those areas. It's like we always want our kids to be these kind of musical singing stars because we have these beautiful voices, and we grew up loving Selena and Gloria Estefan and Celia Cruz and like all the Latin singing legends. And now we're actually finally be able to see ourselves. And it's such a beautiful thing because now you can tell your kids, yes, mija, you are actually, the dream is closer to reality than you think.
Yeah, because you can see somebody who looks like you doing this. I just want to add that from what I've been hearing with kind of the arts and culture scene around Kern County, the institutions are at a standstill right now because they understand who the majority of Kern County is. The minority majority are Latino folks here, and they're trying to figure out, how do we produce events and content that people are going to be attracted to? And so us as Latinos, we also need to step up and go and support.
Yes.
And so the call to action that I have here is that it's good that we have them here on the show, but if you're listening to this and you're inspired by their story and you're saying, yes, I believe that we need more representation. Yes, I believe that, we just see ourselves depicted more favorably. Then the next thing you do is pull out your wallet and use the power of the consumer because that's extremely important here. So if you're able to afford it, we encourage you to go do this because what's going to happen is it's going to drive a business decision. And I don't know who runs the Stars. I'm sure they're very good people. But if they see, wow, look at this show did extremely well, this community turned out, then we're going to see more shows that speak to this community.
And it's not even just going and buying tickets. It's also coming out and auditioning.
Yeah,
that is
get
a
out
huge
there.
thing.
That's right.
That is very, very huge.
Yeah, it doesn't have to stop right after high school, right? It can just keep going.
I mean, I'm 30 years old. Look at me.
There's this.
Well, not 30 yet. I'm 18.
You could be a principal. You could be a professor.
That's right.
There's this generational talent that we have in Bakersfield. His name is Bob Multimedia Fuentes.
What the heck?
When are we gonna have Bob? When are we gonna have Bob the musical?
I am not going on stage. That is a fear of mine. I am perfectly fine. 100%.
You got some coaches here,
What's so
Bob?
funny? You were talking about how you were scared to come on the radio, right? And like you were very nervous, right?
I mean, no.
No. I missed that story.
Oh, okay.
I must have misheard that story.
It probably.
I
Well,
did.
I was nervous to go on stage and the opening weekend.
Oh, okay.
Because
That's
that
the
was a lot of
story I
pressure.
heard, right? But
It's just you, Bob.
it's just she's just throwing me under the bus, right? Like, it's just.
I'm not a liar. I'm a truther.
She called Bob out.
She did, right? But I'm just very scared of public experience appearances and going on stage and performing and talking in front of people. I think that's one. Yeah. I think that's just one of my biggest fears. So, what you guys do is very admirable, right? Like you're going up there, not only putting on like a representation for the Latinos and Latinas out there, but also performing such an incredible pace, right? I think that's really important. You talk about the quick changing, and just going up there, and even you, who you said you've been doing it for years, right? We're scared opening day, right? So to tell Bob to go up there and audition is
But you know what? Based on experience, I did audition, and I did like a short thing, like it was like a horror play that had like 5 different stories, and it was at the Empty Space. I went over there and auditioned because it was kind of a dare. Because I was like, people need to go audition. You should go do it, blah, blah, blah. And they said, well, why don't you do it, Matt? I went over there. I did it, had a good time. I was scared. I was nervous. But it was at Empty Space, so everything was really intimate. Had my family, everything. And you know what? Once you get past the first one, you're just excited. You can't wait to do it again.
They had to have 2 family nights for Matt.
It was and then after my part was done, everybody left.
I think as a human, we need to have those kind of experiences to challenge ourselves. When I started, I didn't do musical theater growing up. So when I had that challenge, it was in my 20s. I was doing pageants, and my vocal coach was like, I'm going to make you really uncomfortable. Learn this song, go audition for a show. And I said, oh, okay. And I was really nervous. And guess what? I got the part.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
it was at Stars. I got my first opportunity to perform in a musical at Stars. It's Les Mis. I was able to be Eponine. And that changed my life. So I encourage you, go audition, Bob.
Yeah. Bob.
Whoa! How did this?
So how often, Eric? Like, I mean, did you have any anxiety before doing this type of play?
Yeah, you always do. You always have the jitters, right? And then my whole family was there opening night. But yeah, once you start, you get into it, and I always tell people, like, people tell me, when do the nerves go away? It's during 1, 2, 3, which is, one of Gloria's biggest hits in the 80s.
2,
she sings 1, 2, 3, and we're getting all flirty on stage, and I'm like, all right, I'm feeling this now. And then it totally melts away, and then it's a joy. Yeah.
Do you all kind of ever zone out? Like you're doing it, you're in it, and then when it's all done, you're like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Does that happen?
It's a whirlwind.
You blink out
because for the audience, it's a 2-hour show, 2.5-hour show, but for us, it feels like 10 minutes. It literally does. Yeah, it's like this huge and then you have like an adrenaline rush after that, and then you can't go to bed afterwards for like another 4 hours.
Yeah. Do you have any?
I don't understand. I was like, no, I need to relax for like 5 hours.
do you have any? What is each of your pre-show ritual? Eric first.
I don't eat. I don't get hungry.
I can't eat either.
I can't either. If I perform in a full stomach, I don't know. I just feel like I can't sing as well. So I don't eat. I drink lots of water, and I try to hydrate as much as I can because the nerves kick in. You start singing, and your throat gets a little bit dry. So you've got to. That's my pregame.
Okay.
My ritual is, in all Latina fashion, me persino. Like, right before the music starts, and I'm like, boop, boop, boop.
Yeah,
and
that's been our ritual. Yeah.
That's been our ritual right behind stage. I'm like, I'm the abuelita, like giving the sign
Are
of the
they
cross.
doing that out in the audience too? They're all
Probably not. But that's just me. I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Those are very good
They are.
pre-game rituals. And we're getting to the post-game ritual.
You don't want to turn that dial. This is Real Talk on Forge 103.9, a new sound. Forge 103.9, a new sound. This is Real Talk. And this is our last break with our special guest, Matt. Yeah, but you want to give him a shout out and
Of course I do.
Give him a platform?
Yes, of course I do. We've been having a lot of fun with Izamar Olaguez and Erick Casallas, who are the leads in On Your Feet, now appearing at Stars Theater Restaurant in downtown Bakersfield. You got to go out and support On Your Feet. As Andres said, like, the only way that these productions are going to continue to be out there and we're going to see more Latinos on stage, Latinx actors, actresses, is if the Latino community gets out there to support. So we're so happy to be there. They've given us a lot of information.
We've been seeing all the money everybody's been sending at Zama.
Yeah,
you got some money to go to the Stars.
Oh yeah,
Theater.
there is. Latinos spare no expense when it comes to entertainment and having fun. So the business owners and the people that can make those decisions, all you got to do is say when. That's it.
Just give up the mariscos. Give up the mariscos for one night and go have yourself some.
Switch it.
Switch it up. Try fettuccine Alfredo. I don't know. Chicken salad.
You could take the fettuccine Alfredo and put some ceviche on those menus, and you're going to get them all there, and they're going to be dropping the dollars. Yeah, but we're so thankful to have them here.
This is our last segment. Is there any shout outs you guys want to give to anyone? Any support roles, your dog, things like that?
Shout out to my family in general for just being supportive because it's the time that we give. My work family and everyone at Stars, Zachary, Frank Sierra, our musician Cody, our costumers, the lights, Alex Neal. You guys are just doing a great job, and thank you for putting on the show. Kelsey, Nicole, who we mentioned. Yeah, great job.
You said shout out to the Voorhees Vikings, right?
Yeah, to my school, my lovely school community.
Vikings.
Like I always tell my students, like, you need to be proud of who you are, represent who you are, and you represent yourself and your family. And this is like a huge representation show for me. So shout out to all of us Latinos out there who are supporting each other and promoting each other on. So
yeah.
What about you, Isa?
Definitely the Estefan family for creating this opportunity. And I think it's, historical as a whole. But my family, my parents, my sister, my brother, his fiance, and then my boyfriend, who's literally holding down the fort.
Yeah. Thank you for loving her cooking.
Thank you. We were talking about how much you love the caldo, babe. I love you. He's listening in. I love you, babe. So thank you for holding down the fort. He's literally the person he listens to my tears of, this is so frustrating, but then at the end of the day, this is amazing. Yeah. So yeah, he's the one
Well, we all hope to make it to go catch the play over at Stars. Like we said, go to bmtstars.com and you'll get all the information. Support local theater. Support these wonderful local towns who are here. On Your Feet, the story of Emilio and Gloria Estefan. It's an American dream success story. You know, Gloria Estefan before Selena, before J-Lo, before all of them, it was Gloria Estefan and Emilio Estefan in Miami. They gave so many Latinos opportunities in the music and the film industry. I mean, they brought Shakira to the rest of the world, from Colombia to the rest of the world. And the Estefans were so big, and they're still so big. Gloria Estefan performed at the Super Bowl 4 times. I don't think there's any other artist that could say that.
Yep.
Right?
Nope.
She's
So, and it's not
amazing.
just conga. It's words get in all those songs. I mean, there's tons of songs
Come
on
watch
your
the
feet.
show.
Come on,
Just
you're
keep
going to
on
be
going.
singing along, and I kid you not, at the end of the show, it's mandatory. You're going to get on your feet.
That sounds
Hey,
like so much fun.
and speaking of on your feet, how did our friend David Torres do in this play? How's he doing?
David, we love you. Yes, he's doing an amazing job. I will say, I am very proud of him. This is his first time ever being on stage, singing, dancing, and having lines.
Oh wait, hold on.
What?
Hold on.
Did you say
cut
sing,
the beat?
dance,
Cut the
and-
beat. What is he doing?
He is singing, he is dancing, and he has lines in the show. And I will say, this is his first time doing it. He is there at the theater on stage before anyone gets there, before I get there, and I'm the first one there. He's there already.
He's all practicing his lines. Back
He
there.
is. So,
Dedicated.
yes, and he's also given us so much opportunities here in our community because he already is very involved in our community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we want to thank him so very much, too.
Definitely, because that's how I found out about the play, was because he posted,
Yeah.
come and support this. Oh, by the way, I'm in it.
You should see his costumes, too. I think you'll love it.
Oh,
I'm going for sure.
I have to go now.
I
I
better
was like,
speak-
one day this month I could possibly
better
go, and I got to put it on the calendar.
I better be some bedazzled guayabera on him.
Oh
right?
no.
A lo mejor, sí, a lo mejor.
You'll definitely see some bedazzles up in there for him.
Oh wow.
That's
But you
Miami,
know,
baby.
Matt said we're gonna be posting it on all on our socials, our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Forge 103.9. Thank you guys for coming in. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for
and
having
and
us.
not only
Thank
talking to us about the amazing show, but one of the things we really want to bring on here is representation. Right. We want more people who look like us to do roles that are defined by us. So thank you guys so much for being a role model and, just an inspiration to people. So like that, saying thank you guys. You're listening to Real Talk on Forge 103.9, a new sound.